Hello, everybody, again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and with me I have
Kage, how's it going?
Kage. What's up? How you doing?
Just trying to come to terms with the world, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a decent show planned for you today. We're going to talk about some of the new numbers that are coming out with inflation and things like that. We're going to go right to stevecortez.com's Substack there. We're going to talk about some scary numbers about the producer price index. He did a little bit of chalk talk, and we're going to talk about what he had on his whiteboard there. Do you have some time? You want to dive into this before we start on a couple of the stocks there? Considering the reason why we're going into this, guys, we want you to prepare and try to do different avenues because we have lots of... it's not great news what we're going to talk about. What you got your stuff there, Kage?
Yes, I've got the article opened up, and
Okay.
I'm ready with it.
So we have the producer price index was 9.7% right here. We have all the whiteboard here. I'm going to show you 9.7%. Well, what does that mean for you? That means that what you're going to see, because they're going to pass that price off along to you, you're going to see higher prices, which you're already seeing right now. You're going to see higher and higher. Credit card debt, $52 billion in quarter four. So it looks like during that quarter, which is the holidays, people were racking up the debt there, Kage.
That is kind of a catch-22. I mean, it's one of the ways that people can see your credit score and enable you to buy a house.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it can basically devastate you and you basically living on borrowed time, basically.
Yeah, and so during third and fourth quarter, you had an astonishing 20 million credit cards issued. 9 million of those credit cards were subprime, meaning when they go to change the interest rates, when they go decide, because they're saying, what are they saying, 3-4 times the rate hike there?
Yeah, the inflation is like the fastest rise in prices for 4 decades, according to Steve Cortez. For a lot of people, especially those with modest incomes, the answer is simple and potentially dangerous: credit cards.
Yeah, I feel what basically what Steve's saying is that we're headed down towards a cliff, and you need to prepare financially for what's coming because these guys are taking pedal to the metal, and they're doing. Are you concerned that they are doing a full Cloward and Piven strategy here?
As far as this being a part of the Cloward and Piven strategy, I think it's absolutely essential to some shadowy figure who wants to basically devalue the dollar to the point where it's basically worthless paper, and you just have stacks of blocks of paper that are not really worth the watermark that they're printed on.
Yeah, you're almost headed to where back to the 20s when everybody was trading, and you had your elevator. You had just like you had normally with your regular retail traders. You had things like that with the elevator guy back in the days in Europe, back in before pre-Nazi Germany. And everybody back then on all forums, everywhere throughout the world, they lost their shorts because of same situation. Except this is unfortunately here. I don't see a recovery here. I see we're headed to a bad situation, and I don't think that any of them can fix it. And the problem is they keep on injecting the juice into the system with the quantitative easing. And or if you want to call it tapering, they're injecting this juice to satisfy the people on Wall Street. But the problem is that the hordes are going to come out. And they're going to be pissed when they see all everything crashing again. The statistics on this, Kage, is worse than it's worse than 2007. So
I'd actually argue that people need to see this as the beginning of the Second Great Depression, basically.
Yeah, as far you have to go through this recession. They have to raise interest rates in order to the recession that's coming. That's just a given. We're not going to sit here on the show and bring in our pom poms and things like that. We're telling you here, and we could go and cover a lot of the stocks, And we're going to cover two of the stocks, but this is just important for you because you have to have this information in front of you. That's why we brought it, because we thought it was very disturbing with these statistics that Cortez brought up. What do you have? What else did you see on this article there that kind of caught your eye, that what you were disturbed about?
Just the fact that the United States manufacturing PMI chart, with when it was under Trump and everything, was really, really healthy, and the inflation consumer price index was fairly healthy too, and it was actually going down.
Yeah, and you're talking to two guys right here that we don't carry the cooler for Trump or anything like that. We're just telling you.
We look at the
we're not even Republicans.
And we try to interpret it so that everyone else can understand.
Yeah, we're straight shooters. We think everybody needs to unite on both sides of on both parties, because if you don't, we're just gonna continue to crumble and everything like that. And you saw how reliable your Alphabet media was. They're now attacking Zero Hedge for being Russian disinformation, because they basically were saying that the troops were leaving Russia from the Ukraine border, and old Joey came out there today and was like, well, we think they are. You guys know what's going on. You guys know what's going on. If you can't go out there and say, well, we don't know if they're moving. You guys know. You all know. So I don't think that all of us are dumb out there. So you have several things in the pot, but this is the one, the kicker, that this is why they're trying to distract you, is because of this credit card crisis that's going to hit. So it's not looking good. So just be on the lookout. Make sure you're taking this. You see the stats here. They're not pretty. You can see them on the chalkboard right there. They're right in front of the camera. We'll leave a link to the article. Go check it out and read it for yourself. It's pretty disturbing there, Akage. So we're going on to the next. Okay, guys, the first stock we're going to talk about is RESN. RESN, last tick was $4.40. Going to the charts there, Kage. This one seems, as far as pretty consistent as far as the price. You did see the April 21st, and we know what happens after April 21st, right? Everybody starts borrowing credit cards and things like that after the stimmy runs out, and it dives off there to where everybody's bouncing out. Apparently, now that we know the raw data is out there. Going into what would you say they do here, they engage in the creation of filter designs for radio frequency front ends for mobile device industry. It focuses on developing a software platform, Infinity Synthesized Networks. The company was founded by Neil Fenzi and Peter Hammond in January 2012 and is headquartered in Austin, Texas, the free state of Texas. What do you got on StockTwits? Because that's where the real traders are at. What do you got there, Kage?
How about this take from Beekeepers Inc. He says, RESN, somebody bought all those calls, and if it wasn't you, I wonder if it was institutions or insiders buying those calls.
Don't be
weird that people would buy calls so heavily right now before a merger, but I'm just trying to ignore all these news articles to the left of the screen.
Yeah, is it the left of the screen because it's the Alphabet left, the corporate Mockingbird Media left part that would mock this story? Or because I am on the Alphabets, which is not Russian disinformation for all of you that didn't like to know, So just to let everybody know, I am talking with regime media there. So especially when they send 2 cease and desist letters sometimes, but we'll get off on that one. But yeah, go ahead and what else do you got there?
How about this one from Insider Finance? He says, algorithmic trade ideas, signal generated on RSEN as a top ticker for abnormally high volume relative to daily average. And he's got a chart that explains it. With the recent trends and options contracts.
Got to go with the trends, right? Not so. I was just kidding. The trends, not just throwing it out there. So the biggest news before we'll get to this with this is on Yahoo Finance. There, Murata Electronics North America, a wholly owned subsidiary of Murata Manufacturing Company, today announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement under which Murata will acquire all outstanding shares of Resinat not owned by Murata for $4.50 a share in cash. Resonant is the leader of transforming radio frequency front ends that are designed and delivered for mobile handset and wireless devices. The combination will allow both companies to expand their offerings to access additional markets and customers. Resonant will be the wholly owned subsidy. Murata will continue its innovative development designed to solve some of the world's toughest RF challenges. So what else you got there from the twits? Because that's where the real traders are at. What do you got there, Kage?
How about this one from CR Heat? He says, glad I took some of my RESN money and bought 7K additional shares at $16.75 this morning. Now 8K total. I like roller coasters and rocket ships, so either way, this investment is perfect for me.
What would you say as far as, did he say when he got in and things like that, or no?
He didn't necessarily say what time he got in.
Okay, not a number there. What else you got there?
How about this one from Hawk MDN? He says, bullish. We deserve a buyout of 250% plus like RSEN. We have Zimmy and Tempool. The data is going to be available any day. People with resources will get the first peek.
Okay. We also have on this Yahoo article that the acquisition will combine with Murata's world-leading mobile RF product. So you have the XBAR filter solutions and world-class team of talented engineers said that that the Resonant invented its proprietary XBAR technology, which is expected for high-level frequency and super performance to filter technologies. They've collaborated closely with Resonant for years on the development of proprietary circuit designs and Resonant's XBAR technology and Resonant's license. Murata writes for products that specific radio frequencies connect with their commercial partnership. What else you got there, Kage?
There's some bears here.
Oh, there's bears. Let's see what the bears are. That's going to be interesting. Gotta have the scent. I said the bears would be interesting because you got to have sentiment of both sides. If you have Kool-Aid carrying and people carrying pom-poms and things like that, saying everything's good, we want to hear both sides. So what do you got?
All right. Well, yeah, this one is from Next Trading. He says, RESN. I said the price action would not continue upward, and I was right. There have been no major profit taking for now, but I believe it will drop at least $4 in the coming days.
So you're at, what are you at here? You're at 339. Yeah, that's not that far of a reach considering if everybody's talking about and it's news is popping everywhere, and then you have this mystery buyer that's out there for the Elite possibly. There's rumors of that out there. Yeah, it's they could take the 39 and run and drop it below the 4s, and then there you have it. So he's not that far off. He's actually probably correct. I would think if that's going to happen, that would probably happen on Friday. Because what happens on Friday?
Ski low.
Yeah, ski low. See you later. Yep. So pump up the jam is gone. No, I mean just because you got all your promotions out there, and this mystery buyer is interesting there. What else you got there?
How about this one from Mike Savvy? He says bullish. 5.5 million shares caught short in RSEN overnight, up 250% on BO law firm, investigating if this is fair for shareholders. Yeah, no one wants $4.50 when you're trading at $1.25, right? Shorts trying to sabotage after hit, blindsided and smash. Congratulations to longs.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. You guys are doing well, and long term, I think this is I mean, you're at $4 and change where you're at. Long term, so far from what I'm seeing and from what they do, I would say that this is a decent play just because going forward with especially the news that we just broke at the beginning of the show, you're going to want to look for companies that are like this because they're going to be a little more safer plays. Now, how they're going to be affected from the correction coming downstream, don't know. Everything's going to have to get corrected because you're in an you're in an overbought market. It's all overinflated. So it's just a matter of who's going to be affected and why. But there's deals you can hedge against, or if you just want to quit, you can quit. But who wants to quit, right? Some of us are just good at the game, what we play out there, and the people that are out there that are on this board, they know how to play. So
yeah.
Okay, guys. So Kage's got a decent take he found on the twits there. What do you got on there as far as this guy's got bringing the heat tonight on this board?
Yeah, the guy's name is ASGR. He says bullish. RESN. Selling too early after the first sign of profits is apparently a classic symptom.
Yeah, we have a lot of that.
Happened to Italian investors in Argentine bonds in the late 1900s, but don't quote me on it.
There you go. Yeah. So, and it also happened many times after that. If you could recall, wasn't there a time when they stopped trading on Robinhood one time? Oh yeah. That was 2021. There, I forgot about that. We believe the acquisition will enhance Murata's advanced RF front-end capabilities in the world's filtering technology and 3.9 gigahertz frequency key areas for the growing integration of mobile technologies. The radio frequency, smartphones, and other wireless devices continue to grow more complex, don't they? We're waiting for some of your conservative phone carriers to come out with some of the Freedom phones and things like that, as far as we should see some developments on that coming soon. You're getting a lot of heavy hitter Kage that are coming from the other technological side to try to compete with the left. The left just thinks that they can continue to hack these companies illegally because they're getting away with it right now because they're allowed to. But eventually, these companies are going to drift away because you're getting some left-leaning techs that are going to work for conservative companies that have had a belly full of it, and they're done. You know, they're done. They're not going to cover for corruption, and so they're moving over to be in. People want to be on the middle. They don't want to pick sides right or left. They want to be in the middle, and they want to do good. Good triumphs over evil. So it looks like the radio requirements for smartphones and other wireless devices continue to grow more complex. X-bar filter technology delivers the ability to solve the complexities created by the next generation of network requirements. Murata and Resonant will provide a strong portfolio of intellectual property rights covering the entire X-bar technology, concluded Nakajima. So the transition was approved by both companies' boards of directors and expected close at the end of March 2022, subject to tender of majority of Resonance shares, certain regulatory approvals, and customary closing conditions. Kage, what else do you got from the twits there that you found interesting?
How about this one from Stock for Thought? He says, RESN. Hard to believe. Proves charts don't work in this market. Importantly, company thinks they can scale tech.
What was that? Scale what?
Scale tech.
Huh. So does he elaborate more on that or no?
I think he has a point that the tech is not necessarily to scale of what it should be, I think. So. Okay.
So interesting when the sale broke today. You also have an interesting article that came up on, I believe this was Bakersfield.com. It says there's a law firm, Eagle and Squire, Bragle, Eagle and Squire PC, nationally recognized stockholder rights law firm, has launched an investigation into whether the officers or directors of Resonant Incorporated breached their fiduciary duties of violating federal securities laws in connection with the company's acquisition of Murata Electronics North America Incorporated, the wholly subsidiary of Murata Manufacturing. So, do you have anything on the boards of this that broke? This one broke. Doesn't give a time. It was 8 hours ago that this broke. So that just posted across the wire. Nothing on the twits about that as far as with any of your bulls that you saw.
Small cap gappers and crappers.
So they put out a contact form. They wanted you to fill out a contact form and have you check that out. So there's some blood in the water there apparently. What we're seeing across the wire that broke 8 hours ago across the wire. So interesting on that, huh? We'll have to see how that one plays out because I don't know if we've seen the last of this one there, huh?
I think with how things are, it's definitely worth watching. But I would say buyers beware.
I'm just interested in all the news, what we're going to hear here. That's all. I just want to see how this plays out because these stocks. Interesting how we called Wish, huh? Do you see Wish was popping up? We just didn't want to cover it again because what's there really to cover when we pretty much covered that whole thing? I mean, Wish is Wish, but I'd rather cover NSAV again and cover Foon and things like that because I'm interested to see how that plays out. It's just not my cup of tea with Wish, but we also saw that move up like we predicted it probably would. There was two avenues that we decided that it was going to go that way. Wish is also trending to the top right now. So there's some interesting news with that. You can go read about that or go watch our video about Wish before where we covered the two angles, what could happen. We still haven't seen anything from the Xi'an variant play out. You might or might not. We'll see what happens. What else do you got on this one? You bouncing on this one?
I think we're bouncing on this one. It seems a little bit too good to be true with how the chart is and what.
I'm not negative about it. I like what they're doing. It's just I want to see how things play out, and that's why I put it on a watch. I'm not negatively watching it.
I would absolutely put this on a watch, but I would probably want to be careful about getting in this one because this could drop like several points tomorrow or.
Oh, just with some there's something definitely fishy going on. We're just gonna see how how that plays out and everything. So there's something that maybe it might not be fishy. Maybe we're just doing black helicopter theories or something like that, and MIBs and all that. But is what it is. We'll have to see how it plays out. So we're not really into the black helicopter theories on the show, but we'll have to see how it all plays out. So we're moving on to the next. Peace. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is CIDM. CIDM. Last tick was $1.13. Going to the chart on Market Watch, it looks at halfway decent, and then you have the drop off, and now you're seeing resistance pop up, and you're getting an uptick. Going into what would you say they do here? They're an independent streaming entertainment company which engages in the marketing and distribution of movie, television, and other short form content, managing of library distribution rights. It operates through segments of equipment business, content, and entertaining business. The cinema equipment business segment consists of non-recourse financing vehicles and administrators. The content and entertainment business refers to ancillary market aggregation and distribution of entertainment content branded over and over the top OTT digital network business providing entertainment channels and applications. Looks like they're headquartered in the People's Republic of New York. They're a great place to be right now. So going into StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are at, what do you got on the meme boards, as they were calling you in the Super Bowl, trying to call out the real traders, saying that people-based decisions made on memes? That was like the stupidest commercial I ever saw. Was that dumb that you saw?
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
I thought it was pretty offensive, considering... I guess if you're a meme trader, you're disrespected. Like I told you, they have no respect for you. They were happy spending the money talking smack about you. That was the thing. That's what they like to do.
Apparently those commercials and everything costing like $1 million for like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, they will spend all of your money. They will spend all of your money so they can mock you. They don't care. They're not your friend. None of them are your friend. The alphabets aren't your friend. None of them. So they're still spending, it looks like the alphabets now are sending out messages on Twitter saying, we don't understand why people listen to Joe Rogan. Well, because he speaks his mind.
Following and everything.
Yeah.
And the man himself, he's curious.
Yeah, Joe Rogan speaks his mind. He calls as he sees it.
Guests talk and he tries to understand their perspective.
Yeah, don't carry the cooler for people. Joe Rogan doesn't carry the cooler for anybody. So that's why people watch him. So he speaks his mind and what he feels like is on his mind, and that's what people like. So going on the twits there, what do you got so far that you're seeing that's popping across the boards there?
How about this one from JJ Trading? He says, this is the watch list for tomorrow, CIDM. Great day and finished over 1.10, which is a big resistance and now should act as support. Needs to hold this little level for next leg up. If not, it will go back to 0.92 to 0.94, which is next support. So keel that level highly on watch. You have some chatter out there as far as news articles and things like that. So people are talking about that. So that does make me a little nervous as far as for this week, as far as purchasing. But if you're on the short buys and things like that, then you got to do what you got to do and find your entry point wherever that's at. If you're buying next week or you're shorting this week and you're buying till Friday, figure out what you're going to do. Going on to Yahoo Finance, you have Synergym reports that the strong fiscal 2022
third quarter financial results with the record streaming revenues. So they had record streaming revenues. That's good because revenues already will bring up your bottom line there. Consolidated revenues are 14.1 million, up 42% over the prior year. Streaming revenues are 104% over prior years. Ad-supported streaming revenue is 100% over prior years, and subscription streaming revenues is 109. That's the key right there, guys, is subscriptions. They're bringing the heat with the subscriptions right there, and the reoccurring revenue is what gets the juices flowing and sends that freaking that chart up north. So the net income was 4.3 million year to date, or 0.03 per share. So what else do you got from the real traders there, Kage?
How about this take from Hedge Funds Aren't People Too? He says, bullish. CIDM. I realize we've probably attracted some new eyes. In my opinion, CIDM is undervalued under a 600 million market cap, and it's a growth stock, which will always get a more optimistic valuation.
It's
Don't get in your own way and look at this as a quick flip for 20% or whatever you're already up. It's gold, buy more and hold long.
Yeah, I would say so, and it's in that point where it's not as risque as some of your subs below. So that's another strong key point to take a look at. Going back to this article, it says they have the strongest results ever in streaming quarter, registering triple-digit growth over a fourth quarter in a row, said Chris McGurk, chairman of the CEO of Synergym. You have a unique strategy, a portfolio basis model, and technology, content, and streaming. There'll be multiple revenue streams to fuel this growth and separates them from other in the space. They've also have a strong balance sheet with zero debt and profit year to date. Now that's huge in itself right there. How many companies can claim that? You know what I'm saying?
Not many. Yeah.
No, not many. He says they'll clearly continue to fire on all cylinders. So there you have the pump up the talk, which is good because you want to have someone pumping stuff up because you don't want to have some Eeyore out there. So that's great. In the quarter, they've delivered more than 104% revenue growth in the streaming networks business and double 50% annual growth guidance provided earlier in the fiscal year. Their relentless focus on providing customers a freedom to stream their passions, no matter their device preference, budget, it's truly paying off. He continued, the current content library has 35,000 streaming assets. So that's something else you could put in the pipe and smoke. What do you got from the traders as far as this? And then I've got he's got an interesting take there, Mr. McGurk has on some of the other heavy hitters out there in comparison. So let's go into your takes there, and then I'll cover this part.
All right. How about this comment from Rudolphi? He says, bullish. CIDM. Just to realize we are growing fast. Each quarter will surprise positively. Dangerous to go short now. Strong positive momentum will squeeze money out of the hands of shorties.
Going short sometimes, you might make a quick buck here and there, but it could cost you thousands in the end because you could be kicking your ass and going back and being like, dude, I just lost out on thousands of dollars because I didn't do the long ball there. So there's several aspects and several angles to take. Be smart. That's all I'm saying. So going into what he says here, he says, with their streaming assets, it's one of the world's largest libraries in the world compared to key streaming services like Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Tubi. Data according to Ampere Analytics, December 2021. McGurk continued their recent augmented reality AR announcement with Nreal and their state-of-the-art proprietary Matchpoint streaming technology and ramping up the engineering team at Synergym India. And here's the key there. Did you see what country he mentioned right there in India? Do you know some of... Well, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so this is the most interesting thing about this article and about the key of what McGurk says. Tapping into India. India is one of the highest, as far as they have the highest watching audiences on social media and streaming, things like that. Tapping into that audience makes people lots of cash, dude. They're very loyal to their subscriptions and things like that. India is a huge audience great people to tap into as far as for that type. So if they're anywhere in that market or that realm, that's freaking huge, guys. I'm not telling. Huge, huge, huge. If you go to look at a lot of popular YouTubers and things like that and their statistics, India is one of those countries that just pops off the charts. So they are loyal to their subscriber or the people they subscribe to and watch, and companies and things like that. It's a very good market. Let's just put it that way. What else you got from the traders there?
How about this comment from 17112 dude? He says bullish.
Mm-hmm.
CIDM. Love this. And as a longtime holder, hope that soon I can hold the profits. Really want to hold this one for a few more years. Curious what the next 2 to 3 weeks of price action holds for us.
Yeah, the key on this one too, you could see some jumps depending throughout the year as well. This could go out to your shorties out there if you're shorting. You're going to see some when they have relationship jumps with other companies and things like that, which you're going to see that people are coming aboard. You're going to get some other people who are like, dude, these guys are onto something. They're going to come aboard. There's going to be mergers and things like that where they acquire other companies, or there's going to be partnerships. And what's going to happen is that's going to send you up. That could send you up 20, 40, 80 cents there. So that's something to watch. Could be $1. Who knows? Just depends on who's coming aboard or what rumors there are. So pay attention to some of the rumors and some of the stories. Synergist's film and television library grew to approximately 40,000 assets owned under management at the end of the quarter. Of the total, approximate 35,000 or 90,000 of titles are streaming assets. This represents an increase of 14,000 titles, so growth there, people. 69% over the prior year quarter, and was driven M&A activity for substantial film, television, streaming channel catalogs, as well as content acquisitions and efforts to support the company's streaming and distribution business. Key third quarter financial results ended December 31st, 2021. Consolidated revenues, $14.1 million, over 42%. Prior to the year quarter, driven by organic user growth. That's huge right there. Increasing market demand for Synergist's extensive content to television, ad inventory, and the launch of new streaming channels. What else do you have from the real traders there? Do you have any bears on this? Is there any sour patches or no?
Not that I can see. I've been scrolling down for a while, and I haven't seen many bears, or if at all. How about this comment from Squeezy Moto Investing? I think this is a neutral one, or maybe a more positive one. He says, CIDM, wicked gains today, folks. Be happy. Patience pays. Greed kills. Yeah, greed does kill. Talk to somebody.
Yeah, talk to somebody that greed kills there. I went off, made $400, and this was on one trade, and cost me probably about 10 or 20 that I could have if I would have just hold. But I didn't hold. I freaking sold to make the cheap shit. And what happened was, and this is one that Kameo was always trolling me on. We won't. That's a long story. Go back to other videos and things like that. But just don't go just to make 400 or 500 quick bucks. You know, you could be costing yourself thousands down the road. So Synergist streaming growth was also driven by continued expansion of distribution of more than 19 new distribution points. Additionally, the company continued to optimize its advertising technology, which had a positive material impact on render rate, fill, and CPMs. The streaming channel revenues increased 104% prior to the year quarter, setting a new company record. Ad-supporting streaming channels increased 100% over the prior year quarter. Subscription streaming revenues increased 109% over the prior year quarter. Adjusted EBITDA $1.3 million in the current year quarter versus $0.9 million in the prior year period, representing an increase of $0.4 million or 44%. So you have a 40% increase there. You could also go back to the key stats on Yahoo Finance. Read this article. Very interesting about the company. It covers as far as all the goods, the pros and cons, and the hits there. What else do you have there, Kage, as far as from the real traders there?
How about this comment from Bottom Fida? He says, CIDM. He says, a friendly reminder. There is a difference between buying rubbish and long-term gold. I like to see all narratives and perspectives. I salute flippers and salute longs. The name of the game is reality. Today was confirmed. What will be the next bearish thesis? Me? Whatever. I I have a buy, sell, or just hold option. Make your decisions and know what you own.
Mm-hmm. It's also going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Another angle is what's going to happen after November. We're going to have around November-ish again. You're going to have virus season pop up 2022. So that's possibly we're going to see more things happen and things like that as far as what with this company as far as changes there. So as far as growth, so you could see more of that October, November-ish, things like that. And like I said, relationships, whatever relationships they add, that's going to help. So this one's a highly watched one for me so far of what I see so far. The revenue numbers is what I'm looking at, and the debt, and it looks good. So what do you got on your end?
I think for this one, this is definitely worth a look.
Mm-hmm.
As far as getting in right now, it might be a good idea to get in when it's this low.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you want to do it for a long hold,
mm-hmm.
I would definitely get in probably now.
Yeah. I don't think that this is far off that we're going to see it going higher as far as, especially when more people see what's happening. Look, for example, with Rumble, with that company, more people are jumping in because they don't censor. You're seeing gravitation towards that. More money's flowing through that. You have independent people that are leaving Facebook and your other companies, and they're joining these because they don't like censorship and they're against censorship. And they're seeing the audience are moving there because they actually want to be able to, if they want to read that the sky is green and that's what they believe, then they want to believe in a green sky. And I'm not saying that that's what people on Rumble think. I'm just saying that if someone has an opinion that the sky is green, we can't censor opinions because there's no fact check on an opinion. Okay, it's somebody's opinion. So even if it's wrong, it's what they think. You know what I'm saying there, Kage? So you're going to see gravitation away to those, and if any of these platforms are doing that kind of thing, then you're going to see more of these newbies pop up and things like that, and you're going to see them be really successful. So, but that's all I got to add. What do you got to add?
I'd say just watch yourself out there. Make informed decisions. See what people are saying and doing,
mm-hmm.
and base more your decisions on what they're doing. I mean, actions speak louder than words.
Action, not noise. Noise doesn't, correct?
Yeah, noise is a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what you're doing and you have commitment,
mm-hmm.
stick with it. More power to you.
Yeah.
People will respect it.
Yeah, put up a red flag if the alphabets are saying to sell the company right away. So just read what they have to say. And don't always go over what the alphabet's saying, sell and watch, because there are paid promoters out there, some of them. If you find an article, it just pops up on your Google machine that's, but digest everything and don't make it a dog show. And good night now!